Greetings, golfers. Welcome to another episode of the Sunday Sandbagger, where we talk all things in the world of golf, from golf betting to fantasy golf to the storylines that matter most. I'm your host, Sports Guy Ty, joined as always by Roy Tin Cup McAvoy. Hello, sir.
Hello, Sports Guy Ty, Shallow Cal.
As well as our second co-host, Shallow Callow. Boys, we got a huge show to get to tonight. Lots to talk about. We hit an outright winner on the podcast last week, our very first one. See, woo! We've also got to talk about Tin Cup getting banned from every social media platform in existence in the last 48 hours, as well as Shallow Cal now a robust 1,200 points back of the lead in the Sunday Sandbagger. But gentlemen,
Tom Brady's better than Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean?
Before we get into all the back and forth, let me know what you're drinking. Tin Cup, start us off. Podcast sauce.
Gentlemen, I'm drinking an Alaskan Amber. The green screen is kind of screwing that up. Here we go. Alaskan Amber. It's from Juneau, Alaska. It is a really crisp, delightful beer.
Okay. And Shallow Cal, what's on the menu for you?
Have this nice, delicious drink from Toledo Spirits, which I got to tour. We're going to be featuring their nice
no free advertising. We're blocking that out.
Yeah. We're going to be
sponsor the podcast.
Their nice line of gin, vodka, whiskey, whatever they have. This is their gin on the rocks. It is fantastic. Probably one of the best gins I've ever had in my life. So Toledo Spirits, well done. Eastside Gin, get it.
All right, we got a little gin cocktail. We got an amber ale. I myself am drinking a Alpine Lager from Sam Adams Brewing Company.
Samuel
Adams. This is not a gin cocktail.
Yeah.
This is not a gin cocktail. This is just gin and ice.
That is just gin and ice.
That is
very clearly.
Nice. Yes. I wanted to make that correction.
Gentlemen, help me out with something. I cannot find good grab bags of beer selections anymore in the grocery store. Is this a problem you're seeing too? I like to try different beers every now and again, so I like those multi-packs. It seems like everything is 7 different IPAs, and if you're not a big IPA drinker, there's not a lot of variety out there, I feel like, anymore.
Can I give Can I give you some of my favorite non-IPAs that are out there right now?
But here's the thing: do they come in a variety pack? I mean, I can buy a 6-pack of one beer. I'm looking for like a 12 or an 18 that's got 3-4 different beers in it.
Ty, have you gone to Whole Foods? You can do a mix and match bag with any beer they have there. That's usually what I go for.
Whole Foods, Bush's, Plum Market are the 3 that you're going to have success with.
I've been doing the mix and match 6-pack. They're expensive, right? Like I'm looking for like 12 beers, maybe 18. I mean, I remember when Dos Equis used to do a lineup. Like Tecate had a little variety pack. The reason I'm drinking this Alpine Lager from Sam Adams, which is not bad, it bills itself as brisk and smooth, and it's quite brisk and smooth. I was at Meijer, and it was literally the only variety pack I could find. It was billed as a game day variety pack, which is, an easy sell for suckers like me. But I just saw 4 different beers that weren't IPAs. Figured, why not?
Yeah. I like to just go. I like the 4-packs that a lot of places offer nowadays. They'll give you the 4 16-ounces, and I feel like that's like a real easy way to just get 4 and try their stuff out. There's a Birchwood Porter. I don't remember the brewery that makes it, but it's really fantastic. Dark Horse makes quite a few not IPA brews around this time of year that are also super high quality. And then there's Saugatuck Brewing that does the peanut butter. It's a peanut butter porter, actually.
I've had that one.
That's what it looks like, and
they also do the milk stout.
It's only 5.8% or 5.7% alcohol. So the peanut butter porter, you can drink 10, 15 of those and only feel a little bit drunk.
Blueberry lemonade is also an excellent flavor from Saugatuck Brewing. But let's get us back on topic here. We got a lot to get to in golf. We've got to recap the American Express from last week, as mentioned, hit an outright with Siwoo. We got to preview the Farmers Insurance Open. We got to talk our best bets again and right-click print money. But before we get to any of that, we've got to address the brewing controversy in the Sunday Sandbagger that involves one Roy Tin Cup McAvoy. Tin Cup,
wow,
you're no longer a part of the group, me.
Yes, I played what I thought would be a funny joke, removing myself from the chat after one too many Packer memes. And, I thought it'd be just simple enough to join again. I didn't realize the admin had to let me back in. Now, for those of you that want to know the real story, I am being held hostage, and the demands are just insane. So, unfortunately, your champion apparently won't be in the group me chat for a while here because I'm just not putting on an Eli Manning jersey.
Champion used lightly. He still is seeking his first UPS Cup championship.
Good night, Mr. Aaron. I see you sleeping. Good night.
I mean, I could make fun of your team, but it's just too easy.
That's the point. You don't have to make fun of my team. My team doesn't make the playoffs. I don't have to worry.
Anyway.
So this is the second golfer to voluntarily leave the group me, following Ridgely, not once, not twice, but 3 times, which also makes a little bit of sense because as we've documented previously in the written versions of the Sunday Sandbagger, there's been a lot of talk about Ridgely and Roy Tin Cup McAvoy being in cahoots for an attempted coup of the league. So it makes sense that both guys would leave. We've asked you to reconcile with Ridgely, bring him on the podcast, let you both grovel, beg for forgiveness. Are we gonna talk to Ridgely tonight?
Ridgely was unfortunately booked this evening. He's on a book tour, and he said maybe in the previous weeks to come, but he does have some demands from Utah, which we'll keep those private for now. And if you ever meet those demands, he'll oblige. Otherwise, I think you should just let me back in this group. It's time for the people to hear from me.
I can only imagine what Ridgely could have possibly written to be on a book tour right now. But Shallow Cal, what are we gonna do to let Tin Cup back into the group, me? What are we gonna make him do?
I think
he's not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna keep winning.
Well, it just makes that so much easier than to keep you out of it. Go ahead and keep on winning. If you don the Eli Manning jersey for an episode podcast, then I believe that's I think that's a winning mentality that can win your way back into the group me chat because
I only wear Hall of Fame. I only wear Hall of Fame quarterback jerseys, unfortunately.
Let's think of it this way. You would be paying homage to the only quarterback in NFL history to go undefeated in the playoffs against both Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. Never lost to either one of them. A 2-time Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl winner, and an unquestioned first ballot Hall of Famer. You can't get behind that?
And I will bet a lot of money he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Guys. All those stats are great, Ty. But the one thing that you never said, you can't spell elite without E-L-I.
Eli.
Ballot Hall of Famer.
All right. I'm going to start my own group me chat with Ridgely. We're going to do just fine over there.
Well, actually, I think that's a fantastic idea. Keep us updated on how that goes.
I will.
All right, but before we move off that topic, we do have to address the fact, Tin Cup, that you've also received a 1-month ban from Facebook. Tell me how, tell me why, what is going on?
Well, you see, I'm part of this trash talk group. It's called NFC North Trash Talking Group. And it's pretty easy to just get really into it with them. So it started with a 3-day ban about a month ago. Then I got a 7-day ban, and then I was good for about 2 weeks. And I was poking fun of a Bears fan yesterday, and he flagged my comments, and Facebook deemed it inappropriate, and it was cyberbullying. And so I got a 30-day ban. I can't do anything on Facebook. So it's infuriating because just as I got banned, I posted something in the group, and now I have all these guys talking trash to me, and my blood just boils reading these comments, not being able to respond.
How do you since Facebook owns Instagram, can you go on Instagram?
I can go on Instagram, but I can't. So the accounts are paired. So if I do a story on Instagram, it won't post to Facebook. Facebook is off.
So one of your recent followers will be able to communicate with you for anything that she might need, right?
I suppose so.
Yeah, perfect.
So you are a repeat offender, is what you're telling me. You have been reprimanded 3 times.
I'm fairly certain the next ban is either 90 days or 6 months. It's pretty significant. So I got to be at my best behavior.
I was going to ask, like, when do we start talking like Donald Trump territory here? When does the lifetime ban come into effect?
I don't know. I got to be really careful because I actually drum up a fair amount of business for my Facebook page. So I might have to just ease up here, but you got to let them Bears fans and Vikings fans know. I would say Lions fans, but again, it's just
we already know. Yeah. Don't you trust me.
All right. So last comment I'll make on this topic. I was texting with Zach Fajan earlier, a former member of the Sunday Sandbagger as Emerson Eagles, and he wanted to know why we haven't taken our friends' email chain to a text message to be more, able to respond quicker, easier, get better banter going back and forth.
That's I said, great idea.
I agreed. I said that makes a ton of sense. We've got a pretty active group me for golf, as you remember. Should we just start a group me? And Zach said, no, that's stupid. Everybody's got an iPhone. Let's just get in a group text. I said, well, there's one person I know that doesn't have an iPhone, and after Facebook and the golf group me have been taken away, if you take away the email chain from him too, Zach, he may just give up.
Yes, I refuse to buy Apple products because they're just ungodly expensive.
All right, enough with the social media. We understand that Tin Cup has got some work to do there. We're going to hope he doesn't get us kicked off YouTube as well, because that's about all we got left. Let's jump into it. Let's recap.
That's all we ever had.
It is all we ever had, but we're coming. We're coming to you, Apple Podcast, when we get this right.
Yeah, let's recap this. I'm looking forward to this recap. What you got for us?
Let's jump into the American Express. Starting out, first outright winner on the podcast. Now, to clarify, this was not my pick as the outright winner, which we'll recap more in detail later.
Which I do want to say, how stupid that neither of you picked the favorite going into this tournament. I'm sorry. Go on. I digress.
No, we'll talk about the odds makers and them getting it right this week as well. Siwoo. On my betting card this week, not my outright pick, but that was a nice 55-1 hit for the podcast. Our first outright winner, 2 first-round leader winners the last 4 tournaments. Big one for Siwoo. I'll tell you what, Patrick Cantlay was unbelievable on Sunday, and by setting the course record, he almost snatched that one away from Siwoo, but Siwoo did everything he had to do to take that title on Sunday.
Yeah, I was hoping for Cantlay for the FedEx points. I mean, we still got a nice little bump from him, but
it didn't matter. It did not matter because all of the top 9 people from 1 to 9 had Patrick Cantlay in their lineup. So Patrick Cantlay's score in the final round did not matter whatsoever because everybody from 1 to 9 had him in their lineup. So
as long as you're distancing yourself from some people, that's a good thing.
Yeah. So speaking of distancing yourself from others, Tin Cup, big week for you. Unfortunately, not able to gloat about it a whole lot, as we alluded to at the top of the show. Been banned from the group me. But a tournament win, a $50 side pot win, and you gain ground on dimpled balls in the UPS Cup, the chase for the UPS Cup. Also extended your lead for segment 2. Big weekend for you.
Very big weekend. I told you I was just going to be climbing at this point. I am zoned in. I am ready to take my second Seersucker jacket, and I'm ready for this championship this year.
Well, you certainly got a good stake in the ground after that week. After this week, your third win of the 2021 season as well, which now ties you with the double par special for the most in the Sunday Sandbagger. Got a couple big wins too. You got this $50 side pot. You got the Masters as well under your belt. A lot of good stuff. Shallow Cal, what do you have to say for yourself this week?
Well,
tell me how you really feel about Chucky 3 Sticks.
I mean, Chucky 3 Sticks, man. Man. I mean, all you had to do was finish strong, and it was not good for him. What I'm really most disappointed, Lanto Griffin, man, he starts day 2, 3 under par. All you got to do is finish with a 71 to make the cut and make it to the weekend, and he goes out there and shoots 1 over. Cam Smith,
tough to win without a full lineup on the weekend.
Oh yeah, and then not only that, but Emiliano Grillo. I was the only one with him in my lineup. He goes.
Good pick.
He goes. Well, not really. He goes out to the front of the lead at halfway through the third round at 15 under, and then he
finishes like T29 or T39.
He started working backwards from there. It was unbelievable. Once he got there, and it was.
You had an outright ticket on Emiliano, right?
I did. I think it was like 66 to 1.
That's right.
Because you jumped in on the live betting, and I had the ticket on Siwoo, and we were both kind of battling there for a little while. I kept thinking, honestly, on Saturday that Emiliano was going to do it. And
then it was just an absolute. So he finished the front 9, I believe. 4 under. He made a birdie on the back 9, and then he was 5 under, and then from there he just started making bogeys, and he was at 15 under and just started working his way back. It never worked out.
Yeah, well, I feel your pain. So let's just clarify. You did beat 2 people this week. You did beat both CBP and $14 the hard way with your 545 points. So we commend you for that.
Not bad.
I feel shot tracker, by the way.
No shot tracker for one course, but didn't count in the fantasy game.
Nope.
I feel your pain, though, on a golfer backtracking, because I, against my own better judgment, on this podcast last week said I wasn't going to stack courses because I stacked courses for this tournament last year and it burned me. Well, stacked courses again. I went 2 on the Nicklaus course the first day, 2 on the Stadium course, and then I went 4 all on the Nicklaus course the second day. What I wound up doing was pulling Sungjae out of my lineup, who had his 68-point day on Friday.
Put you to the front.
By far. So Tin Cup wins the tournament this week with 796 points. Bradley Peterson in second, a gut-wrenching, heartbreaking 1 point behind.
I know. I was actually sweating the updates each time. Like, oh God, please don't let him have another point.
There was a lot of chatter in the group me and a lot of hope for a stat correction on Monday in Bradley's favor.
All you salty brother, sister.
But yours truly, third place, 792 points, 4 behind Tin Cup. The golfer that I subbed in for Sungjae was Patrick Reed, who wound up missing the cut. And so I think it was a difference of 37 points on Friday as I was trying to stack courses. I wound up losing by 4. So I know about those golfers backtracking, Callow. For the second year in a row, I tried to stack the Nicklaus course, and I won't be going that way again.
Yes, you will.
Sometimes
I'm stacking this week.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to go with your heart instead of being the smartest guy in the room, and just go for it.
It's true. I mean, there's a lot of truth in that. Okay, so let's finish up then on the standings. So as mentioned, Dimpled Balls retains the UPS Cup standings lead, our chase for the season-long championship in the Sunday Sandbagger Fantasy Golf League on PGA Tour. Barely. That lead has shrunk to 68 over Tin Cup, and yours truly, Sports Guy Ty, making ground up as well. I was 227 back last week, only 115 back at the top spot this week.
That's very much in reach.
Very much in reach. It's in reach for really all the way down to like 7, 8 in the standings, because keep in mind we're only a couple tournaments into segment 2. I'm not sure if number 9's in play, but we also had our first shakeup of the standings since the super season started in January. $14 the hard way falls from his perch at number 5 all the way down to 7. Patrick Weed and Hags to Rags both make a move up. Shallow Cal, your rival Hags to Rags has had a couple good weeks in a row. You getting nervous?
No. I mean, he's always been a solid fantasy golf player. It's commendable, that he's very analytical with it. He's a logistics guy. He likes to get it to the hole in as few strokes as possible. So.
All right. So in terms of our betting recap then for the American Express, let's talk first about what we did for the Sunday Sandbagger specifically. Then we'll jump into previewing the Farmers. We'll talk about our bets in the golf world following. So nobody hits an outright for the second week in a row. Shallow Cal, you were on Spartaneity. Tin Cup picked myself. Sports Guy Ty, I was on CBP.
I'd like to point out that this is the second time had the person I picked played the right people, I would have been right with yours truly and CBP.
It's true. You're out 2 outright tickets because of poor roster decisions. Also, though, big storyline coming out is that the odds makers got it right this week.
Like 4 or 5 Super Bowls with the Fords. So, you have to live with that. Poor roster decisions,
Oh. Anyway.
So odds makers had installed Tin Cup as the favorite at plus 150. Couldn't pick himself. Neither yours truly or Shallow Callow picked Tin Cup as well, despite being the favorite. We'll get into the list this week, but I'll give you a tease. There's not a whole lot of change at the top. As we start looking at the matchups, would there be? We had 2 winners as well. Shallow Cal comes through with CBP over $14 the hard way, despite them both finishing 10th and 11th in the league. You picked the one who finished 10th, so nicely done. You get a matchup.
It's actually really hard to do.
It's impressive. You handicapped them pretty close.
Yeah. I said they were even odds. So I was like, I'm gonna take the guys with the even odds and match them up, and they finished really close. Yep. Just really close in last place.
Tin Cup, you miss on the matchup with $14 the hard way over Dimpled Balls this week. I came through with another matchup winner, Bradley Peterson over Shallow Cal, not particularly close.
You called that, though. You said he was hungry this week.
I knew it. I knew that he was ready. He entered the side pot early. I felt like that was going to be a strong pick. He might not be a bad pick this time around as well.
Speaking of which, since I'm not in the group me, what's the side pot up to this week? I don't even know.
I believe we're at $40. Is that right, Callow? Is that where we ended?
Excellent.
Yep, we're at 40. We still got a few of the regular cast of characters that haven't joined yet. I'd imagine we'll push 50 again.
Yeah, it'll be 50.
Well, I told Shallow Cal that I am intending to break my record of 3 consecutive side pot wins.
It's going to be a tall task. All right, leaderboard quick for our bets on the Sunday Sandbagger. Then we'll get into actually previewing the next tournament here and see where we go with the Farmers Insurance Open. So in terms of our bets, only on the league, weekly on the Sunday Sandbagger, outrights and matchups. Shallow Cal goes even at the Amex, a loss on the outright, a win on the matchups. He is up 4 units overall and currently leading the race. 3-0 in matchups is what's doing it, but really the one outright winner, huge. Tin Cup, -2 units at the Amex, down 0.25 units overall. Also has an outright winner, but 1 and 2 in matchups is what's killing you. And then I'm just kind of treading water at even for the Amex, even overall. I've won all 3 of my matchups. No outright winners yet. We got a lot to get to in terms of breaking down the odds boards. But before we go there, boys, let's jump into our course preview. The Farmers Insurance Open. We are in La Jolla, California this week, just outside of San Diego. Beautiful Torrey Pines. We got 2 courses. What do you know about the North Course, Tin Cup?
North Course. It was designed by William Bell, and it was given an overhaul by a Tom Weiskampf. It features larger bent grass greens and fewer hazards on both off of the tee and off of or around the green. So of the 2 courses, this is going to be the more forgiving one. I think I saw it favors the golfers by about 2 strokes on average.
You got a yardage for me on North Course?
Nope.
72.50.
72.50. It's definitely the
sir.
easier of the 2 courses. It's the shorter of the 2. It's the easier of the 2. What do we know about South Course, Shallow Cal?
So the South Course, that's where you're gonna get your 3 rounds from your golfers that are playing through the weekend and everybody else. You're looking at 77.65. So you're almost up to 7,800 yards on that. Par 72.
Longest course on the PGA Tour schedule.
Yeah, it is a big, long course. However, it is also a very narrow course. So they say these fairways are hard to hit. If you can get it far, and everybody's missing the fairways, if the distance that you can get, you're going to have an advantage. So look for the distance guys on this one, having a little bit of advantage on the course here. They got POA Nua greens, so it's going to be quick. These
putting on Poa.
These putting on POAs are no joke. There's a few courses on the California coast that have them. If you're not familiar with these greens, good luck, because you're going like 13 and up on the stemp meter this week, and that's gonna be really hard. The weird and the quirk on this course, the 4 par 5s are going to be your easiest 4 holes on the course, handicap wise. So you got to take advantage of your par 5s. You gotta score on these par 5s because they're the 4 easiest holes. And the par 4s, the greens, if you miss them, you're gonna pay the price. You're really gonna pay the price. This is a tough course, and it's gorgeous. We're gonna get to see it without fans. I think that you're gonna see this in all its beauty, and really get a nice viewing on Saturday and Sunday.
Quick point on that about the no fans. They say that Leishman, who had such a good round last year, he was hitting them right or left and into the rough, but because of the gallery, he was actually getting pretty decent lies and being able to hit it and miss all of those hazards. So it should play much differently this year.
He also made every single putt that he looked at last year.
Well, fair.
Yep. A lot of interesting storylines coming out of the South Course. It also got a redesign in 2019. They changed all the greens. They changed the tee boxes. They actually did shorten those, or narrow those fairways a bit. South Course is also going to play host to the U.S. Open in June. So I think what you're seeing here is a few guys maybe doing a little reconnaissance work for the U.S. Open. Maybe some guys that we wouldn't typically see playing in this tournament. Rory's only been here twice. He's making the trip across the pond from Abu Dhabi. I think you got a few guys kind of hunting for some tips, but there's also the school of thought that you may not want to play the South Course this week if you're really going to contend for U.S. Open because the setup's going to be completely different. Yep.
It's completely different. You've got almost 6 months.
Yep. Well, we do get 3 rounds on the South Course this week for golfers who do make the cut. Everybody plays one on the North on either Thursday or Friday, one on the South. Then we migrate over to the South. There is ShotLink on the South Course for the fantasy game purposes, at least on PGA Tour Fantasy. We won't be using the bonus points this week because ShotLink isn't used on both courses.
That really sucks for us fantasy players. So I think they should do whenever if it's an equal playing field. Those who got it that day. Those who don't, because they're each going to be playing the course the exact same amount of times.
Yeah, it's an element of strategy for sure. It is disappointing, but at least the South Course is the one that's hosting 3 rounds this week. So we do actually get 3 rounds of stat tracking or, close to accurate stat tracking being on the South Course. We don't have to see shot 1 from the green, shot 2 from,
Yeah.
But we got some weather that's going to roll in as well. Likely this week be a little bit of a factor. Some rain, some wind on Thursday and Friday. We've got cooler temperatures in the 60s. It's only a high of 58 on Friday. So interesting to see how that's going to impact the setup. We'll talk about some strategy in a bit about whether to stack or not. But let's jump right into important stats to consider. Tin Cup, what are you looking at this week?
I mean, I think this one's kind of cut and dry. Driving distance is incredibly important for that setup shot. Scrambling percentage, I think maybe more important than ever. Just those guys that have to get crafty after those narrow drives. And I just think short game in general. You need somebody with superb iron skills.
What about you, Shallow Cal? Anything to add?
Yeah, I think your scramble stats are definitely going to be your ones that are going to be what you want to keep an eye on. I also think shots gained putting this week, in particular, is going to be important because if you're going to be like Mark Leishman last year and you're just going to be knocking down putts, if you're in the rough and you're hitting it into, the green and you're 10 to 15 feet away, but you're draining putts, it's going to have you're going to have a huge advantage. So I think putt shots gained and putting is going to be a huge advantage for the person that wins this tournament this week. Mark Leishman had +8 last year, and your shots gained putting.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
which insane. you can't ever bet on. Putting is the one stat.
You're looking at putts and knocking them in. So and then like T-Max Tin Cup said, shots gained off the tee. That's going to be another big one.
Not just distance, but accuracy as well, because the rough is going to be.
And it doesn't even need to. It can be a little bit of both. If you're going to be a little bit in the rough and you're going to be 325 yards out there and have a good angle from short rough into the green, so be it. I'd take that all day.
I'm with you. I'm on the strokes gained approach stat as well this week. Again, the Bombers bomb it out there, hit a short wedge in. I think the guys who are going to be good around the green are going to score well this week. Par 4 scoring, 450 to 500 yards, I think is going to come into play here. A lot of the red numbers being made there.
That's not. I really don't think that's going to come in because what these guys are going to be hitting 6 and 7 irons instead of 9 irons and pitching wedges. It's not
on the par 4s.
I mean,
if you're putting it out there 300 yards off the tee and you got, 150, 200 yards in, that's a short iron for these boys.
That's true. So, what you're instead of having your pitching wedge in your hand, now this week they're having 8, 9 iron,
8-iron.
Yeah.
7 iron. So these guys are going to be scoring just fine, I think.
I'm fading the Bermuda boys as well. We've got 2 different surfaces on the greens and the 2 different courses. The POA greens that Shallow Cal mentioned. We've got bent grass on the north course. So you want to fade the Bermuda boys this week. No Bermuda Burns for me. Sam Burns is out. No Keith Mitchell on that Bermuda for me. He's out as well. Besides that, I disagree on the putting stat. I don't think it's as crucial this week, other than to just make sure you're avoiding the guys who are known for performing on Bermuda.
Yeah, but the guys who put on this are going to have a definite advantage, I think. Your Brant Snedekers.
Let's jump right into it. Give me some golfers to target, Shallow Cal.
Snedeker's not necessarily on my he's not necessarily on my golfers to target list, but I'm just saying, like, he's a guy who you might look at because he putts well on.
Well, who is on your list?
Who is on my list? I mean, right now I'm looking at Vic Hovland coming into this one. He's a good putter. I like Vic. And John Rahm, favorite in the tournament, on everybody's list, right? Well, I haven't used him yet this season, and we've got 6 tournaments left, including this one, and I get to use him 3 times. He's in this tournament, so I'm going to use him just purely based on the fact that I have the
a hard on for John Rahm. We got it.
Yes, we get it.
All right,
equal to Paulina Gretzky, obviously.
Definitely not equal to Paulina Gretzky.
For me, I'm going to be targeting last year's winner, Mark Leishman. I also think Tony Finau. There isn't a person on tour who doesn't love this guy. Everyone wants to see him win. He's ready for it, primed for it. Why not this tournament?
Yeah, I love it. Nobody cheers against Tony Finau, right? Like, nobody just hates Tony Finau. I think a Tony Finau win would be a great story for the world of golf because the players love him. The fans seem to really gravitate to him. And he's had great success this course. I think that's a great name. For me, I'm looking at Hideki Matsuyama. He actually gains strokes putting on POA greens, if you can believe it. Hideki, who may be the worst putter on the planet, actually putts well on POA. So I like him when he's playing the South course. I love Bubba as a horses for courses kind of player. Always this course just kind of is the apple of his eye for the way that his shot shape sets up with the big lefty hook. And for me, the Aussies as well. Adam Scott, Mark Leishman that you mentioned, Tim Cup, Cam Davis. Australia Day
Jason Day.
I love us.
Can I get some Jason Day?
So Australia Day actually falls during the Farmers Insurance Open every year at Torrey Pines. For whatever reason, Australians love this course and they love performing on Australia Day. 3 of the last 6 winners of this tournament, Australian. Jason Day twice, and then you got Mark Leishman last year.
So I've got Jason Day top 5 and top 10. Jason Day top 5. 5.5 to 1, and Jason Day top 10 2.8 to 1.
We'll bring it up later, but one of the bets that I would have on my card this week would be top Australian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of them in the field. Sure. All right, who we fading? Tin Cup?
I'm gonna fade 2 golfers this week. Ricky Fowler, who's 2 for 7 since 2014 here. I mean, I just really haven't been huge on Ricky, and I love Ricky Fowler.
Ricky fucking stroked it last week at the end against me. He screwed me over.
Yeah, I just I haven't seen him consistently put together 4 days of golf. And anyway, the other golfer still going to be Jordan Spieth. Just still too inconsistent. I'd love to see him come back, but still going to fade him.
How about you, Shao Cal?
I'm going to go Bermuda boy. I'm going to go Sunjay. I'm going to fade Sunjay this week. I feel like he's played a lot of golf this last month. And then this
and he's played some
curveball.
meaningful golf too. That takes it out of you.
He's a workhorse.
He's made all the cuts. He's played all the rounds. He's
he's a workhorse.
Yeah, but I think I'm gonna fade him. I think he's gonna have a little bit of a letdown, and I'm gonna fade Sunjay this week.
I can't remember what tour pro said this, but somebody's famous for saying, they never felt comfortable if they didn't have a room key in their pocket, because they're essentially playing every single week on tour. And that's really, with the way that the schedule sets up with the wraparound season now, the way that FedEx points are divvied up, the money tends to follow certain tournaments. You don't see that much anymore, right? You don't see guys playing every single tournament. They're resting more. They're being more strategic about their schedules. Sunjay is the exception to that rule. I mean, that dude is going to play every week. That dude probably hit 10,000 balls on Christmas morning while the rest of the world slept.
I wouldn't doubt it.
All right, for my fades, it's an obvious one, but it's a big one. I'm fading Xander. Strangest thing in the world, right? Kid is from La Jolla, went to school at San Diego State, and he is awful at this tournament. I think he's made the cut once in his last 6 attempts, twice maybe. It's tough. It's tough to fade the X-Man because he's in fine form, but this is just not the tournament for him. I'm going to completely contradict myself later in the segment when we talk betting card, but we'll leave that for a moment. Billy Horschel as well, absolutely terrible on POA greens, and I'm fading Rory too. He looked great in the desert last week in Abu Dhabi, but I think that's a big transition, again, to come all the way across the pond for this one. He's only played this tournament twice, not a stop he makes historically. And let me be clear, I think Rory's going to be fine this week. I think you're going to see like a top 15, top 20-ish performance, but the way he's priced, he's a fade for me.
He drives it like very, very well. So he could be a good pick this week.
What you got, Shallow Cal?
For outrights?
Oh, I thought you were saying something. No, you're good.
We're just talking about Rory.
Oh, Rory? Man, Rory, let me tell you. I don't know.
All right.
It's there and then it's not.
It's true. All right. Well, while you get your thoughts together to pontificate on Rory, let me roll through the odds for the American Express for the Sunday Sandbagger. We'll get into betting odds for the golfers in a moment. But for our fantasy golf league on PGA Tour Fantasy Golf, Roy Tin Cup McAvoy paces the odds board again, betting favorite at plus 150. Followed by yours truly, Sports Guy Ty at plus 200. We're gonna keep Patrick.
We need some longer odds here. We're so grouped in together.
Well, we only got 11 guys competing every week. It's tough to make anybody too much of a long shot.
I mean, I've played a long time and I still haven't won, and I can only get 500 to one for 51.
We'll keep Patrick Weed near the top at plus 225. Another good tournament for him. Dimpled Balls, the UPS Cup leader at plus 250. Spartaneity hanging out with a double par special in that plus 300 range. Then you got a couple golfers at 325. Hags to Rags, Bradley Peterson. We're gonna handicap CBP at plus 400 this week. We're also gonna pay off the hard fall from 14 the hard way down to plus 475. And then we wrap it up with Shallow Callow at plus 500, and our stand-ins at the bottom. Eric's Winners remains at plus 10,000, Ridgely at plus 12,500. So, gentlemen, let's jump right into it. As always, I need an outright pick from you, and I need a matchup. Tin Cup, start us off.
Outright, I can't pass up these odds at plus 300. Double par special. I got them as the outright this week. For my matchup, I've got Dimple Balls beating Sports Guy Ty.
Oh, that's a little bit wishful thinking on your part, I'm sure, with both of us in contention for the segment and the season-long championship. All right, Shallow Cal, where are you at?
So for my outright winner this week, I'm going to go with somebody who I feel like has been very, very, very close and deserves a little credit. Hags to Rags is going to be the outright winner this week.
The rival.
Giving the nod to your rival.
Give some props to Hags to Rags. I think he's been very consistent. I think he's going to go and he's going to make a little run. He's been picking great lineups. Give me Hags to Rags. For my matchup this week, I'm going to pick a little upset. Sports Guy Ty over Tin Cup. Roy Magnus.
Okay.
That's just silly. It's a
now
silly
we're
bet.
going the right way.
I think it's going to work this week because I think my guy, Ty, has been doing a little bit more research and is ready to show up. And I think
let me tell you one thing right there in your flawed theory. Sports Guy Ty does more research than anybody I've ever heard of. So that's not ever his downside. Let me just tell you that.
One day I will get that call to be a professional golf handicapper. All right. For my outright, I'm going back to the well on my guy one more time. If he doesn't do it for me this week, Spartaneity at plus 300. I'm quitting him after this. He comes through. He gets the first win of the 2021 season. I need that big outright. So plus 300. I love Spartaneity. For my matchup, I'm going to pick against my horse last week. I'm pitting a matchup of the two Fenton boys against each other, and I'm going Patrick Weed over Bradley Peterson.
Woo!
And
what's up, Matt?
And
I love it.
We missed our opportunity 2 weeks ago, but if one of the Fenton boys gets a victory at any point here the next few weeks, Shiloh Cal, we are sending you up to Fenton to get on the golf simulator and do some in-person interviews.
No, I don't think I should be able to go up to the golf simulator because I broke the one last week at X Golf. I don't want to break anybody's golf simulator because I hit the ball too hard.
No, you don't want to do that and then have to also give up your kitchen renovations.
Oh, that's the kitchen renovations are like $100,000. So that's
All right. Let's get right to it then, boys. Final segment of the show this week. Right click, print money. This is where we talk about our favorite bets. We are tracking each week one outright winner from each of us, one top 10 play, and one matchup. But we are starting to go a little bit deeper and give you more of our betting cards now that officially last week online betting apps were legalized in Michigan. We have a lot more options now with Barstool, DraftKings, FanDuel, MGM. Bunch of options. So we're going to get a little bit deeper this week, go into our cards, some bets we like beyond those outrights, top 10s, and matchups. But before we get there, let me quickly recap our Amex picks, the American Express. Up and down week, no outright winners again. Tin Cup, you and I swung and missed on Scotty Scheffler. Very popular chalky pick, doesn't make the cut.
Yeah, that was rough. I really had high hopes for Scotty last week, and I thought that was going to be an easy, cut for him to make, and I was shocked. But he was out of my schedule right away, and thank God for Gooch.
Huge, the Gooch. Shallow Cal, not much better for you. Matt Wolf, 4 bogeys in his first 6 holes, I believe, on Thursday. Your outright didn't have a chance.
I can't believe that guy played like his front nines in like 18 over par, and then he played his back 9 at like 26 under par. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Jekyll and Hyde, let me get a little consistency here. I mean, if you're not going into hole 7, 3 over, and then you shoot 8 under the rest of the way, like, you're good to go. You're winning tournaments. Like, what happened? Like, Wolf just really let me down. I think he let a lot of people down.
We're not done talking about Matt Wolf because he factors in prominently to my card this week. But we're going to leave him alone.
Emiliano Grillo. Like, man, come on. You just get up there to 15 under par, and then you just go all the way back down. And for me, my guys just had a bad week of getting up there and then fading back.
Only one winner among our top 10 picks this week. I picked Abe Answer at plus 250, actually finished T5, so got a nice little 2.5 unit win there. Again, what we're doing every week is we're just assuming that we're betting 1 unit on each of our 3 best bets, outright, top 10, and matchup. We're tracking against those 1 unit plays, but again, we'll get a little bit deeper into the cards this week and in future weeks, start tracking a little more heavily there. Matchups, not good for you and I, Shallow Cal. You took Lanto Griffin, who missed the cut, over Ricky. I took Eric Wise. They were
Ricky was, +2, and Lanto was 3 under, and then Lanto ended 1 under, and Ricky was 4 under somehow after round 2.
Ricky made a little run. I think he got to 10, 11 under by the end of it.
I think it was 11 under, if I believe.
It was unreal.
Yeah, mine was no better. Aaron Wise missed the cut. Adam Hadwin, who was one of my big fades last week, did show up, despite the fact La Quinta was not in play. In Tin Cup, you held up the ship for us in the matchups. The only winner with Abe Answer, which I still don't understand how you found plus 120 over Kevin Na. But Abe comes through for you, comes through for me in the top 10.
Yeah, I was on CBS Sports Bets or whatever.com,
So here's where we stand currently. Again, we've been tracking our best bets for outrights, top 10, and matchups since the super season began at the Century Tournament of Champions. Tin Cup goes minus 0.8 units at the Amex. You are down 0.7 units overall. Shallow Cal, tough week for you. 3 units lost at the Amex. You're down 5.9 overall. And then I was the one slight winner with the Abe top 10, up a half unit at Amex, but I'm still down a half unit overall. So, boys, all 3 of us are in the red through 3 tournaments. Time to turn it around. A lot of people say this is when the golf season really begins at Torrey Pines, the big course, the challenging course, big names. In years past, this was the first time that we'd see Tiger before the back surgery was announced a couple days ago. But let's get it back on track, boys. Farmers Insurance Open Picks. Give me your outright pick with the odds. Give me your top 10 and give me your tournament matchup. Shallow Cal, why don't you kick us off?
All right, kicking it off, I'm going to say this. Richie Werenski. Yes, he played well last week. And yes, he is on FanDuel right now, 250 to 1 that I got him. 251 for Richie Werenski. That is by far the craziest line that I've seen on a golfer.
Listen, I got several long shots on my card.
But if unit, 1 unit, just 1 unit, Richie Werenski.
I mean, if you're giving me $100 to bet on any golfer, I'm probably not putting it on a 251 long shot. But you come through with that Richie Werenski win.
Be in the
Tin
green.
Cup and I are going to be looking up at you for a long time.
But I'm saying you're putting a unit on it.
Well, what's a unit? A unit could be $100. That's what you normally bet.
You know what I'm saying? You're putting half a unit on the. I mean,
a unit for me is $100,000. So.
Yeah, and see, a unit for me could be $10. It's all standard. It's just a full unit. If you're telling me I got a full unit to put on a golfer, I'm probably not putting it on 250 to 1 for my one shot. But like I said,
But hey, you are swinging for the fence, and I appreciate that.
That's what we're doing.
All right,
top 10.
Jason Day. I'm taking that one. 5.5 to 1. Jason Day, doing my top 10. And my matchup, I am going with Mr. Matt Wolf over Soonjae M at minus 108.
I could have really used that last week. I also put in a matchup play for a unit on Wolf over M and did not work out well for me.
No.
All right. I like it. Tin Cup, run me through yours.
So outright this week, I have Mr. Adam Scott at 45 to 1. It's a good line, I thought, but not nearly 250 to 1. Top 10, I've got Rory McIlroy for plus 125. Nothing fancy.
Rory.
Yeah, not too fancy there. I just think that's just trying to get back in the green, as you mentioned here. Matchup, I got Mark Leishman over Zalatoris, plus 125.
Okay.
Ooh, Big Willie Z's going to tear your ass up.
Betting against Big Willie Z.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Bet against Big Willie Z.
That's my Wake Forest boy.
Yeah.
All right. For me, as I mentioned, Matt Wolf is very prominent on my card this week, and I'll get into a little bit more after these picks. But I am taking Matt Wolf as my outright. I got him at 33-1 on Monday. I've seen that number come down a bit as far as 25-1, but hovering mostly in that 28 to 30 range. So I like the value at 33. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great play. I think he's very live this week as a big hitter.
Yeah.
Somebody that can get hot with the putter and roll some. Gary Woodland is my top 10 plus 750, a little 7.5 to 1. Again, this is a course that he plays well on. He had a nice showing last week, starting to round back into form. And for my tournament matchup, I'm going Chucky 3 Sticks, Charles Howell III, minus 106 over Ricky Fowler. They are the polar opposites at this tournament. Ricky can't find his way around making a cut here, whereas Chucky 3 Sticks never misses. Just hold true to form for me. Get to the weekend, 3 Sticks. Fowler, we lose you. I'm good.
All right. I like it.
All right. So I'm pretty far down the road on my full card this week. I'm not complete, but I'm far down the road.
I've got a 10-unit card too.
I've got some bets.
I've got quite a few. I've got outrights on Xander, Leishman, Matt Wolf, Hovland, Finau, Horschel, Kokrak, and Renski.
You want to get an outright on me too? I mean, who are you not taking?
Yeah, holy cow!
Yeah, those are my
it's
guys.
Like betting every number on roulette.
I mean, hey, you bang one of those and you're.
Well, I've got two different outrights. I've got Gooch at 90 to 1, and I got Cam Smith at 50. Cam Smith at 50 to 1.
Another Aussie. I like it as well. Cam Smith or Cam Davis?
Me?
Cam Smith.
Okay. All right. Not a lot of overlap in our outright winners. So as I mentioned, my card's not complete, but I'm going to run you through the bets that I have made on my outright.
I got Pino over Rom for plus 144.
All right. We'll talk some tournament matchups. So Xander was my big golfer to fade in fantasy because I feel like there's a lot safer options. I put a unit on Xander at 12 to 1, and this is just purely a gut play because the statistics don't back it up. The form really even probably doesn't justify the 12 to 1 price range right now. But I just feel like at some point we're going to wake up and Schauffele's going to be good on this course that he's probably played more than any in his life, being from San Diego. So I got him
at 13 to 1.
Yeah, I didn't shop. That's
at 13.
One of these episodes we'll take some time and we'll get into what it means to actually build a card and what you need to do that successfully. But one of the keys is shopping odds, right? Like now again that we've got so many options, you got to shop odds. I jumped too early. I honestly thought that number was going to move. I saw 12 and grabbed it. Wish I would have shopped a bit. I'm on Wolf as well for a unit at 33 to 1. Rounding out my outrights, I grabbed Ryan Palmer at 66 to 1 on Monday morning.
I thought about that one.
Yep, he's fallen as far as 45 to 1 most places. I got Gary Woodland.
He's not going to win.
80 to 1.
Ryan Palmer's not going to win.
What's funny?
Ryan Palmer's not going to win anymore on the PGA Tour.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Ryan Palmer because I got him at a top 20.
He lied. He lied about He lied.
I got him at a top 20 for plus 225 this week on my card.
I thought about laddering as well for some top 5s, 10s, 20s on Palmer. His distance is going to play this week. That much we know. The rest of the game, we gotta see how those irons do. Gary at 80 to 1, love it. He's fallen all the way into the 40s in some books, 50s most places. I'm on Doc Redmond just as a complete dart throw, 0.2 units, 150 to 1. I know. I'm worried about that one. That's not slipping. A smart one.
He's slipping.
He made the cut. He made the cut and then literally just went backwards the rest of the game.
All right, so we've already talked one bomb. Callow's got Richie Rowinski at 250 to 1. Any other bombs on your cards? Any 150s and above?
Yeah, so top Australian. Again, I already picked him as my outright. Top Australian Cam Smith at plus 600.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
I was talking
I would say
outright
bombs
bombs,
on
but that's all
my
right.
card. I got one that's
He's not a
Snedeker outright for half a unit is what I got on my card for just the simple purpose of him being a wizard on these putting greens, and maybe he can make a magic thing happen.
What number did you get Snedeker at? Because I've got a Snedeker outright as well.
What's that?
I've got a Snedeker outright as well. What number did you get him at?
180 to 1.
So the 2016 winner was 200 to 1 Monday when I opened up the books for the first time.
I got him 190, so that's not that much worse. But
well, I've seen him as low as 100 to 1 now on Tuesday night at some books. So that's my big bomb. I'm also taking a flyer. My other bomb. I've got Redmond 150, Snedeker 200, and I'm on Wyndham Clark at 175 to 1 outright. A bomber. Right. Not a lot of win equity there, but again, just throwing darts for 0.1 units. All right, so that's outright. Any top 5 plays this week?
Yeah, Jason Day.
What's your number?
Jason Day. 550.
That's a nice number on Day, but we hadn't seen him yet this year. That's what worries me.
You know what? Doesn't matter.
I liked Rahm just just at plus 125. Again, just a solid pick for a top 5.
I also like Matsuyama 450. That was my other one that I had besides Day.
Yep.
I don't personally like Matsuyama as much as a player, so I don't pick him as much, but I'm picking him here because I think he's going to do well. So
Matsuyama is as good as anybody on tour in every facet of the game except putting. And again, you put him on Paul greens.
Hey. If him and Jason Day were to go to a death match with putters and drivers and beat each other, I'd hope Jason Day won. I just like Jason Day better. And Matsuyama, he's good and he's solid, but I don't really care.
What odds are you giving Jason Day over Matsuyama in a putter death match?
Not good, because Matsuyama's probably a lot bigger than Jason Day, because Matsuyama's a beast. Matsuyama probably beat the shit out of Jason Day, actually.
Depends on what kind of putter Matsuyama's using, too.
Yeah. A blade versus,
Yeah.
All right, top 5s for me. I'm on Tony Finau at plus 450. I'm not taking outrights on Finau until he does it, but I do think he's going to contend again. I mentioned I'm going to ladder Matt Wolff. I got him as an outright as well as a top 5 at 750. I've also got him as a top 10 at plus 400. Any other top 10 plays?
Yes, Pistons. I got them plus 130 points against the
Lakers. Still going up.
It's still going up. Keep going.
No, that's all my bets for this week because still sorting out that I don't live in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we got to get you fixed so we can get some real cards in here in future sessions.
Oh, I got so many bets going out there now.
All right, let me run through mine quick. So I want to get to Euro Tour very briefly before we end it. As I mentioned, I've got a top 10 on Matt Wolff at 400. I added one on Finau at plus 225. Also on Gary Woodland at plus 750. I've got 3 top 20 bets, starting with Carlos Ortiz at plus 490. Snedeker at 55 to 1, at 5.5 to 1, and Luke List at 6 to 1. No first round leaders for me yet. I got some names I'm kicking around. I'll probably go 5 there per normal. I've got one of my 4 tournament matchups I'm going to play this week. As I mentioned earlier in the segment, Chucky 3 Sticks over Ricky Fowler minus 106.
Wow, Chucky 3 Sticks, you're putting it out on there, huh?
Chucky 3 Sticks is a course horse at Torrey Pines, baby, and Ricky can't find up from down. All right, I also have my second Euro Tour card this week. Shallow Cal, you got anything else on the PGA Tour you want to throw out there for your card?
Yeah,
before I run through this?
So I got Hovland 23-1, Finau 21-1, Horschel, Kokrak, Wierenski, those guys. I've got Finau over Rahm because I think Rahm. Oh, I don't know what's going to happen with that guy, but I know Finau could definitely roll up and win this tournament. So plus 144 was good for me. And then I got Hovland over Koepka, Wolf over M, Matsuyama outright, Snedeker outright, and Cam Davis outright, just for some long shots.
I love Cam Davis again this week. He's actually one of my favorite Aussies. Yeah. All right, so let me make a quick pivot to the Euro Tour. I hope that both you boys are going to join me in this pursuit of all-out glory and jumping in with both feet to overnight golf. But if not, I understand.
Probably not.
So I put my first card in last week, did 10 units on the Abu Dhabi HSBC Championship. Finished decent week, down 1.59 units. Tommy Fleetwood killed me. I had a top 5 on him at plus 275, and all he has to do is go out and shoot even par on Sunday, and I cashed that and turn a losing card into a winning card. Unfortunately, he goes out, shoots 1 over, finishes T6, and misses on that. But I did have a few nice hits. Romain Langasque gave me a nice little sweat Thursday, Friday into the weekend as a 125-1 long shot. Cashed a few, top 10 on Fleetwood at plus 120. Cashed Danny Willett, top 20 at plus 210. Adri Arnas at plus 210. And Langasque at plus 300. Won a couple tournament matchups as well. Actually pushed the Matt Fitzpatrick, Justin Thomas matchup. Won Adri Arnas over Matthias Schwab. So again, down 1.59 units, enough where I want to go back to the well for another chance this week. I've got a 10-unit card again on the Omega Dubai Desert Classic. I'm going to roll through this with fury.
All right.
I've got 7 outrights. Give me Christian Bezuidenhout at 22-1. Give me Sergio at 22-1 and Matt Wallace as well at 22-1. I'm going to drop down to the 30s and take outrights on Andy Sullivan at 33, Victor Perez 36. I can't quit Adri Arnas. I don't think this is a great course for him. The resort style, the bigger fairways, a little bit easier. He's better in the wind. He's better on the links courses. But I had so many tickets on on last week with him, and he gave me such a good sweat. I got to take it at 43-1. And then I'm going back to the well on the American. David Lipsky, top 5 finish last week out of nowhere. I've got him at 80-1 as a winner. I'm also laddering with Lipsky, top 5 at 16-1, top 10 at 75-1.
Wow.
I've got a bomb as well. The Japanese sensation Kanaya at plus 170. Again, just a small sprinkle at 0.1 units. I've really got a core 4 this week that I'm doing ladders with my outrights, my top 5s, my top 10s, and that's Garcia, Bezuidenhout, Wallace, and Sullivan. I mentioned I got Lipsky in there at the top 5 and top 10 as well. 5 first-round leaders. Give me Tyrrell Hatton. I think he, justifiably so, is the favorite at 16-1. I don't have him anywhere on the card because those odds are too short for me. Other than first-round leader, I just want a piece of that action in case he does come out like gangbusters. Adding Matt Wallace to the first-round leader card. He's my favorite play this week overall. The tournament. Shane Lowry at 40-1. Sullivan at 40-1. Martin Keimer, 55-1.
I have a question.
Shoot.
How many birdies do you have?
How many birdies do I have?
Do you have birdies like you with Shane Lowry?
Yellow, man.
I got so many birdies like I'm Shane Lowry.
Compliments to Toledo Spirits here, everybody.
Cheers to Toledo Spirits. Finish me up with 4 tournament matchup plays. Bezuidenhout minus 115 over Paul Casey. Give me Garcia to beat Casey as well, minus 120. Tyrrell Hatton minus 130 over Morikawa. I can't believe how short that number is. And Andy Sullivan minus 110 over Mr. McIntyre. Gentlemen, we got some overnight European golf starting again on Wednesday. I can't wait. Give me one thing that you're looking forward to this week in the world of golf. top, bottom, left, right. Finish it out with one thing that gets you excited going into the weekend.
Gets me excited.
For me, it's going to be seeing the Torrey Pines course without fans and seeing them navigate it without fans. I think it's going to present a little bit more of a challenge since the rough is not going to be stepped on. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how everybody gets around that course.
I miss the fans. I miss the roars, but I love seeing the golf courses like we're seeing them right now on TV.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. Tough. So I got one for you. John Daly Jr. signs to his dad's alma mater as a Razorback. I'm looking forward to this kid. I hope he makes it to the PGA right out of college, and we got another John Daly here.
There is one futures bet currently on Bovada outside of the majors, like a true futures bet, and it's little John Daly to win a major at any point in his career at 200-1. I can't wait to watch the kid too, right? I mean, it's going to be fun. For me, as I mentioned, I'm looking forward to more European Tour golf. We are in Dubai this week for the Desert Classic. I do have a newborn child, so I am planning on waking up overnight to watch Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday through the weekend. Should be a bunch of fun, boys. Good luck. Hit them straight, hit them far this week if you got the opportunity. We'll circle back around next week, talk about how poorly we likely all did in our picks, and we will keep it moving forward. This has been the Sunday Sandbagger podcast. I'm your host, Sports Guy Ty, joined as always by Tin Cup and Shallow Cal. Gentlemen, cheers.
Cheers, gentlemen.